This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
The Tamil Nadu government objects to the centre's proposal of a national common entrance examination for medical and engineering seats. The Chief Minister says this will affect rural students. The Kumudam ownership battle comes to an end. Partners split the publications with the Hindu editor-in-chief N. Ram facilitating the deal. Politics takes centre stage on Independence Day here in Tamil Nadu. Karunanidhi announces free pump sets for farmers, promises the Kalinga housing scheme will start this year.
புதிய பம்பு செட்டுகளை பொருத்துவதன் மூலம் 20% அளவுக்கு மின்சாரத்தை சேமிக்க முடியும்.
Over 1,000 people belonging to radical groups protest against Dow Chemicals, say that Dow Chemicals should not function in India.
This is recolonization. This is not an independent nation.
Struck by poverty, a mother allegedly kills her son and commits suicide. With fan clubs galore in the land of Tamil films, but they also form the very fabric of Chennai, these fan clubs. Hello and welcome to the late night news on NETV Hindu. I'm Ramanathan. Those are the top stories we're tracking at this tonight, but also let's take a look at the other stories making national headlines. A shoe thrown at Omar Abdullah misses him. The attacker is a suspended policeman. 15 security personnel are suspended for the breach. On Independence Day, the Prime Minister says the dialogue process can progress only if Pakistan acts tough on terror against India. The focus will now be on delivery, says Jaipal Reddy. The group of ministers on the Commonwealth Games meets today. Farmers and a policeman kill near Aligarh in clashes over compensation for land. And to compound Yuvraj Singh's bad form, he now has dengue ruling him out tomorrow's match against Sri Lanka. Well, the top story tonight, perhaps yet another education issue at which the state and the centre could be at loggerheads. The Tamil Nadu Chief Minister has objected to the central government proposal to introduce a common entrance examination for medical and engineering aspirants. In a letter to the Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh and to Health Minister Ghulam Nabi Azad, the Chief Minister has said that an exam would only prove detrimental to the lakhs of rural students in the state. The Medical Council of India had in fact recently suggested that a central examination be conducted for all medical entrance tests to be conducted by the CBSE. And the Chief Minister has now raised objections to this proposal. In fact, the Tamil Nadu government had only last year done away with the system of entrance examinations for professional courses like medical and engineering. Now, our education reporter Minal Shah joins us and tells us what exactly the proposal from the centre is and what is the contention of the state Chief Minister Karunanidhi.
The HRD Ministry has finalized a proposal in which a single entrance exam for all colleges across India, which means that every state will have just one single entrance exam and every student has to take that up. This final decision will be taken at the HRD Council meeting, which is slated for the September 10th, and if it's approved, then from next year 2011-2012, all colleges across the state will have a single common entrance exam. In Tamil Nadu, since the year 2008-2009, all entrance exams have been scrapped because, according to the Chief Minister, it affects a whole lot of rural students. Now, this year we have had mechanical engineering as well as civil engineering in Tamil. This is to encourage students from the district so that they can come in and study and be on par with the students who are in metros. Now, what will this exactly do is bring in a differentiation. The students will not be able to compete if there is an entrance exam, and this is going to make it extremely tough for students in districts who have been already suffering because they are not able to be on par with the students from urban areas.
Now, with elections up ahead next year, this might very well become a political issue. Our reporter Shabir Ahmed throws light on the political implications of this announcement.
And this entrance exam is actually, the proposal will come into force in 2011 in all probabilities, and that is when the Tamil Nadu will be going to polls, and definitely it will become a major political issue, and definitely parties, all the parties in the state are opposed to opposed to any kind of entrance examinations here, Ram. So in that situation, it will become a campaign issue for the opposition parties, and that is something perhaps the Chief Minister wants to avert at this point in time, and that is why he has raised his objection.
Moving on, an amicable solution has now been reached between Dr. Jawahar Palniappan and Mr. Varadarajan in the Kumudam ownership issue. There was an ownership dispute between the two which led to Varadarajan's arrest in April this year. The 5-month-long ownership battle has also rocked the Tamil Nadu Assembly. In fact, the Chief Minister had also expressed that an amicable solution was needed to safeguard the interest of Kumudam publications. Today, the two signed an MOU at the Hindu's editor-in-chief N. Ram's residence. Varadarajan will own the 2 magazines currently in the group. Dr. Palniappan will own the remaining 7 magazines of the Kumudam group. The statement released by Mr. N. Ram says that he said that the warm sentiments expressed by the Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi in the Tamil Nadu Legislative Assembly on April 26, 2010, emphasizing the need to safeguard the interests of the Kumudam publications and his encouragement of the process of finding a mediated compromise solution on a just and amicable basis helped create the atmosphere and the framework for the amicable settlement. Mr. Ram also commended the legal advisors and other professionals for the contribution to crafting the MOU. Now, as the nation celebrates 63 years of its independence, another round of gifts from Tamil Nadu's Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi announced this morning as he addressed the people of the state. This time, pump sets for farmers absolutely free. It comes a day after main opposition leader J. Jayalalitha said Karunanidhi had failed to help the struggling farmers. Shabir Ahmed reports.
கருணாநிதியின் அக்கறையின்மையை பாருங்கள். கடந்த 4 ஆண்டுகளாக தமிழக விவசாயிகளுக்கு கிடைக்க வேண்டிய காவிரி நீரை கர்நாடகத்திலிருந்து பெற கருணாநிதி ஒரு துரும்பை கூட கிள்ளி போடவில்லை. கருணாநிதியின் இது போன்ற தொடர்ச்சியான துரோக செயல்களின் காரணமாகத்தான் வேளாண் உற்பத்தி குறைந்து தமிழ்நாட்டில் விவசாயமே இல்லாமல் போய்விடக்கூடிய அபாயம் தோன்றியுள்ளது.
That show of solidarity with the farming community living along River Kaveri came in a fiery speech delivered to a large turnout of people in Tirchi. Now her bitter political rival Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi emerged with a solution in his Independence Day speech.
சிறு குறு விவசாயிகளின் பம்பத்தில் உள்ள பழைய மின் மோட்டார்களை நீக்கிவிட்டு அவற்றுக்கு பதிலாக புதிய மின் மோட்டார்கள் அரசுக்கு சார்பாக இலவசமாக பொருத்தி தரப்படும்.
Karunanidhi's DMK is all set to hit the streets to remind the people that they mean what they say. The party's youth wing has planned to showcase how the people have benefited during the past 5 years under the DMK government. In Chennai, Shabir Ahmed for NDTV Hindu.
As the country celebrated the Independence Day and these various things were being announced by Chief Minister M. Karunanidhi, a radical group in Chennai took to the streets protesting against the injustice done to the victims of Bhopal gas tragedy. They argued that our freedom is meaningless as we are surrendering to the interests of multinationals like Dow Chemicals, which they say are also responsible for the Bhopal gas tragedy. In fact, this comes close to the centre asking Dow Chemicals to cough up 1,500 crore rupees to improve the situation in Bhopal.
This is recolonization. This is not an independent nation. And American and Indian are not treated on par. If this accident would have happened at US, things would have been different. This is India, and this is the dustbin of the imperialist countries.
As people celebrated 63 years of freedom, a group of protesters in Ashoknagar called it fake freedom. Their protests filled the streets in Ashoknagar for nearly 2 hours. They said an Indian court's verdict in the world's worst gas leak tragedy in Bhopal was an indictment of the country's criminal justice system.
Dow Chemical என்றது யூனியன் கார்பரேட் வாங்கி இருக்கக்கூடிய கம்பெனி. அந்த கம்பெனியினுடைய ஆபீஸ் வந்து இங்க கிண்டில வச்சிருக்காங்க. அது கொலைகார கம்பெனி. அந்த கம்பெனி இந்த நாட்டை விட்டு விரட்டுறது எங்களுடைய முதன்மையான கோரிக்கை.
The US multinational Dow Chemical Company, which ran the ill-fated pesticide plant in Bhopal, paid just 615 crore rupees as compensation. The Indian government approved an aid package of rupees 1,265 crore rupees for the victims. But activists say that is not the answer.
Government has accepted to clean up the site on its own behalf, and the government has decided to pay the compensation from its pocket, from people's money. That is what we protest.
The compensation offered by Dow Chemicals for the victims in Bhopal is nothing compared to British Petroleum's compensation of 90,000 crore rupees after an offshore facility leaked oil in US waters in April this year. With camera person Prabhu, Nithila, NDTV Hindu.
Moving on now, some crime update. In a shocking incident in Chennai, a 29-year-old housewife committed suicide after murdering her 4-year-old son at the residence in Tondiarpet. Investigating officers say that Revati was upset over her husband for scolding her when she failed to settle the debt. Allegedly, Revati had borrowed 1,000 rupees from her in-laws, but she could not return the money as her financial condition worsened. Police sources added that Revati murdered her son, who was studying in the kindergarten school, and hung herself from a ceiling fan. As Revati has also committed suicide. Within 7 years of marriage, an RDO probe has been initiated. And as Madras Day is just a week away, August 22nd, we celebrate by bringing you the sights, tastes and tunes of the city which was once Madras. The fan clubs for film stars. It is a culture closely identified with Tamil communities, and the first fan club are believed to have been emerged right here in Chennai. Now, nowhere else film heroes receive that kind of a respect and attention. Bertila brings us the special story.
Giant plywood cutouts are a common sight outside movie halls in Chennai. And a new film is greeted in theatres with liters of milk poured over those cutouts. All this paid for and organized by fan clubs. Some years ago, these clubs were a place where only young men were active. But that has also changed.
சின்ன வயசுல இருந்து எனக்கு ரஜினினா ரொம்ப உயிர். ஃபர்ஸ்ட் அன்னைக்கு ஃபர்ஸ்ட் படம் போய் பாப்பேன். ரெண்டு கூட நிறைய பூ வாங்கி போயிட்டு பார்த்துட்டு மறுநாளும் பாப்பேன். இப்போ கூட எந்திரம் படம் எப்போ வரேன்னு காத்துனே இருக்கறேன். உடல் மண்ணுக்கு உயிர் ரஜினிக்கு.
ஒளி விளக்கு 10 தடவை பார்த்தேன். நம் நாடு 10 தடவை பார்த்தேன். இன்னைக்கு கூட எம்ஜிஆர் யாருன்னா குறையா பேசறானே விட மாட்டேன். அவர் படம் என் வீட்ல கல்பனை போச்சுன்னு வெச்சேன். அங்க மேல இருக்குது.
The fan culture in Chennai and the rest of Tamil Nadu is said to be as old as Tamil cinema itself. And admirers of stars were called as fans because of the fanatic affection they showed for them. And for actors like MGR, fan clubs served as a political launchpad.
You know, the Tamil cinema is highly politicized, as you possibly know. That's because of the early impact of the Dravidian movement, and especially Annadurai and Karunanidhi, with cult films like Velaikari, and then Parasakti, Manohara, all this, and the brilliant way they used Tamil.
Fan clubs used to be just an indication how much a film star was loved for his roles. But now, fan clubs have become indispensable for the stars because their market value depends on the fan population and how far and wide they are spread. For example, Tamil Nadu's indomitable superstar. Well, you know who that is. In Chennai, Bertila, NDTV Hindu.
Well, time to head to a short break, but on the other side, all the national news and a big blow for the men in blue. One more player out, this time for dengue. Find out more on the other side.